What's going on, guys? So we are back at you with another video. We're coming at you guys with a little different of a pace video than what we were planning on expecting to make this video about. But before we dive into it, I'm just going to pass it over to Audrey so she can explain what we're going to be talking about today and sort of the reasoning behind why we're making the decision that we're making.
Yep. So, as you guys know, we've been in a contest prep for 3 weeks now, so it's definitely still newer, but it's been something that we've been talking about for a while. We always knew we would be doing a prep at some point together, and then we hired Will Sage as our coach to, bring us through this prep. We had plans to compete at a show June 4th, and in the back of my head, there's just been this little nagging intuition of it not feeling right, or like it's not the right timing. So that's ultimately what we came on here to chat with you guys about, is just the fact that we ultimately decided to pull out of prep, which was a really, really difficult decision, I think for probably the both of us. I want to let you guys know why and just kind of explain some of our reasoning. So we have a lot of travel coming up. Mm-hmm. We leave
for Washington next Thursday, or not Washington, Virginia.
Yeah, for a business trip, which we obviously can't and don't want to miss out on. Carly's birthday is coming up, and she wants to do a big Airbnb in Galveston, which is like a little beachy town, about an hour and a half from here. And then there's an event literally right after that we'll have to fly out for another business event.
Yeah. Which is in March.
Yeah.
And then potentially, if we wanted to, our good friend Allie is also going to Austin for a weekend, and we could potentially have just went straight from Virginia, because we leave Virginia Saturday morning and they'll be there Saturday and Sunday, so we could have met them
in Austin,
just fly back to Austin, then drive back with one of them on Sunday.
Yeah.
But we, with being in prep, why would we want to put ourselves in another situation where there's going to be, going out, grabbing some food, having a few drinks here and there, and celebrating with people when we can't, not to say when we do stuff like that, we go balls to the walls, but we've been in a time of our lives where, things have happened, and now everyone's kind of camaraderie together, and we're only in Houston potentially for another 7 months. Mm-hmm. And this prep would pretty much consolidate and eat up all of that time.
Yeah.
And then we would leave and move away. And some of these people here that are here with us in Houston probably aren't going to be moving where we're moving. So there's a lot of close friends that we have here that, despite everything going on, yes, prep is something that's very important to us. Getting on stage and competing is something that we love, but it's also a time right now where that stage is always going to be there, but we're not always going to be here in Houston. So I think the constant battle of having to say no, and knowing that even after all those no's, there's going to be a very limited time to even say yes to go do stuff. So I think
that was a huge part of it. And then there's so many other little things.
Right.
We had planned a while ago to do EDC Vegas with everyone, a huge Airbnb in May, late May, which is literally 2 weeks before our show.
Yeah, barely 2 weeks before our show.
Barely. So we wouldn't have been able to do that, and we had already paid for our tickets and whatnot, which is such a small part of it. But I think one of the biggest things too is we just launched our business in January, and it is rapidly growing, which we are so grateful for. But if you guys have ever been through prep, you know that it takes such a toll out on you. It's not only a lot of time that you have to dedicate to eating your meals, doing your cardio, making sure your lifts are good, supplements, meal timing, but it's also takes a lot out of you in the sense of energy and your brain capacity. You towards the end of your prep, or even sometimes in the middle, you just have a lot of mental fog.
Right.
And we honestly just don't want to jeopardize that. On top of that, our relationship is, we like to share with you guys, is amazing. We like to be able to go out to dinner and be able to celebrate, the fact that we just had an amazing first month in our business, and we weren't able to do that in the sense of yes, we can still celebrate without drinking or without eating a bunch of food. It's not about that. It's more about, being able to just go out and grab a dinner and kind of unwind from the crazy month that we've had. So it's little things like that. Your sex drive rapidly declines as you get leaner too. You get a little bit nippier, and so there was a ton of reasons, and there's still even some more that will save you guys some time on that, but just wanted to kind of chat with you guys about our thoughts and why we're pulling out.
Yeah. So I mean, amidst all of that, it's like like we said, there's so much going on. There's a lot happening over these few months, and I think, you know, it's not just one thing. It's the culmination of everything all happening together that like made us just realize that, okay, the stage is always going to be there. This is something we always rely or tell to our future competitors, people that are clients with us, is that, you know, there's seasons of your life that you're in where you're going to be ready, and there's seasons of your life that you're going to be in when maybe you're not ready, right? And in this case for us, like, sure, like for Audrey's case, like her body with where it's at, and her metabolism could be better, right?
Yeah.
It could be better. That's a factor of it, but it's also,
just got my period back to 2 for the first 3 months consecutively in like almost 3 years, which is huge.
So I mean, it's health reasons. It's making sure we're in the right place mentally, which is probably the most important, which is why like we're kind of not in that space, because, you know, I think the biggest thing for us too is like Audrey said, we just launched our business. Within the past 6 weeks, we've decided to come together, and the growth has been very rapid and amazing. We're super grateful for it, and we want to be able to continue to grow our business, pour into our clients, and like we have stuff we want to plan, we have retreats we want to go on with our clients, and we go out to those retreats, like we want to be able to enjoy that time with our clients and have fun, because I feel like that's the type of people that we are, and that's the type of message and vibe we want to give off to everybody, is like, yes, we can be on our stuff, but also we can have fun at the same time too.
Yeah. So all of that to say, we are pulling out of prep officially, and we just let our coach Will know this morning, so it is very fresh. It's still something that's I'm like, it's tough. It's a hard pill to swallow and to come to terms with, but ultimately it's like, I know that the stage will always be there. I know that I could probably start at a better starting point metabolically and hormonally. And I also know that there's going to be periods in our life where maybe things start to slow down a little bit. We didn't just launch a business, and you know, the stage will always be there. I can always, you know, hop on the stage at that point. So our plans as of now, and what we are kind of foreseeing here, is we still want to lean out a little bit, because it's been a while since we've done that. We've been growing for some time now, so we'd still like to do a little bit of a cut. And then we're still going to hopefully work with Will, and then reverse out of there, get my food up to a really good spot, probably grow a little bit more, and then, you know, talk about potentially competing later down the line. Maybe when we live in Chicago, we're in a different place in our life. So
and I don't think it's not like that we're just pulling out of this just because it sounds like we're busy. We're pulling out just because it's not the right time. Because I think one thing to note is that, granted, we've seen a lot of growth within our business, but our business is going to continue to grow. There's going to be more stuff, more responsibilities in the works, but I think just within this period of our life, with where we're at, looking at everything holistically, it really didn't make 100% sense for us to just like exclude ourselves from all these things that we could do and enjoy the people that we're around while we're in the area that we're in, on top of everything else. That really kind of led up to this decision. So it wasn't just like, shit, like, you know, I'm busy, I don't want to prep, like, because we know as competitors that that's a part of like the mental struggle and battle that you're going to go through, and it's normal. But I think when you stack everything up against it as well, that's why we finally came to the conclusion that we kind of want to just not do it right now. Obviously something we're definitely going to do, but we can always take more time to lean out, build our metabolisms up, grow a little bit more, and ultimately be in a better position to compete and ultimately win. And
if your heart's not in it, guys, like, not to say that my heart wasn't fully in it, but like he said, I mean, I even put out a pros and a cons list, which was ultimately what helped me decide a little bit more. And the cons like drastically outweighed the pros right now. So if your heart isn't fully set on something, I know that I wouldn't show up as the athlete that I could be, and I'm not going to do that disservice to myself or to my coach or to anybody else, right? So I think that's an important thing to note too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we hope you guys understand. Well, video cut out on us.
But thank you guys for watching the video. Again, feel free to comment, like, subscribe, let us know what you guys want to see next, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Bye, guys.
Bye for now.